What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the GolfMagic channel and welcome back to another What's in the Bag video. Now, yesterday we saw Justin Thomas win the Players' Championship by one stroke over Lee Westwood. And today we're going to dive into Justin Thomas's golf bag. Justin Thomas has been in the news for a lot of reasons this year, but today we're going to talk about his success at the Players' Championship and what clubs he uses. Justin Thomas is a Titleist ambassador, meaning that he's going to have a Titleist bag throughout all of his clubs. But his bag is still pretty interesting. So let's jump into his driver. So first of all, Justin Thomas uses a Titleist TS3 driver in 9.5 degrees. Now for me and for you guys, you're obviously aware that the new releases of Titleist are the TSI models. So this driver is last generation. Why is he using this? Well, you may think that all ambassadors have to use the most recent releases, but that is not true, and we've seen that in Dustin Johnson's bag as well, with him using a tailor-made sim driver. This Titleist TS3 driver is obviously the last generation, and Justin Thomas did actually put the TSI 3 driver in his bag, but at the Phoenix Open he changed it back to the Titleist TS3 model. JT has this in a Mitsubishi Diamana ZF60 TX shaft. Mitsubishi is one of the most famous shafts on tour. You see a lot of tour professionals using it, and I'm not surprised that we see this in JT's driver and also in his fairway, which I'll get onto right now. So for JT's fairway wood, he uses a Titleist TS3 fairway wood in 15 degrees. So again, not the new release. We're seeing that quite a lot now in PGA professionals bags, and I'm not too surprised because I know that the TS3 models were an amazing release. JT has this in 15 degrees, so it is his 3 wood, and the shaft he uses again is a Mitsubishi Tensi AV Raw Blue 85 TX shaft. So similar to his driver shaft, it makes sense, and a lot of PGA professionals do this. They line up their fairway wood with the driver shaft so it feels the same when they hit it off the tee or even in the fairway. JT also has a 5 wood, but this isn't even the TS3. This is the Titleist 915 FD, and he has it at 18 degrees, but it's pushed to 18.75 degrees. So it seems that JT isn't a player who likes to change often, because this 5 wood is at least 4 to 5 years old. You had the 917 being released after this, and then you went on to the new TS models. So this is one that's been in his bag for quite a while, and we've seen him hit some unbelievable shots with this. This club is also slightly different because he doesn't use a Mitsubishi shaft for it. He uses a Fujikura Motospeeder VC 9.2 Tour Spec X Flex shaft, which I have seen in other professionals' bag. I saw it in Dustin Johnson's bag. He uses a Fujikura shaft for his driver, and I've heard about this shaft a lot. It's quite difficult to hit, so if you're an amateur golfer, stay away. But I'm not too surprised that JT has this in his bag for his 5 wood. Let's jump straight into irons now, because JT does not use a driving iron. He goes from a 5 wood to his 4 iron, and then has a 4 to 9 iron of some irons. His 4 iron is different to his 5 to 9 iron. His 4 iron is a T100 iron, which provides a little bit more forgiveness than his other irons, which are the 620 MB. So 4 iron, T100, 5 to 9 is the 620 MB, which does make sense, meaning that the 4 iron, if he does want to hit it about 240 yards, this club will provide a little bit more forgiveness, which you do see a lot in PGA professionals bags. The shaft that he uses are the Dynamic Gold X100 shafts, which we've seen across a lot of players' bags, so I'm not too surprised to see JT using this, and it's an unbelievable shaft. Going on to wedges, this is where you're going to see how much JT has fine-tuned this feature of his game, because wedges didn't used to be something that he'd be that strong at. Now, you can see that he is one of the best parts of his game. His ball striking is impeccable, and with these wedges that he has, they're pretty specific. So let's start off with his pitching wedge and his gap wedge. Yes, I said pitching wedge because he has an SM7 in 46 degrees. So as you saw with the 620 MBs that only went up to a 9 iron, he then goes on to the SM7s and he has this in a 46 degree and a 52 degree. But he's changed these lofts. So the 46 degree is actually bent to 47.5 degrees, whereas the 52 degree wedge is bent to 52.5 degrees. So you see there, you've got 5 degrees of loft to make a difference. And I imagine that's because the irons that he uses, the 620 MBs, probably are similar lofts to that, so he wants to make sure the gapping is exactly correct. After this, he goes onto an SM8 wedge, and that's in 56 degrees, but again, this is bent from 56 to 57 degrees. And then finally, for his 60 degree wedge, he has a Titleist VOKEY Design WedgeWorks wedge, and that's at 60 degrees, but that is bent to 60.5 degrees. One thing I should mention as well is the shafts, because this one is quite interesting, because you do see some differences between the wedges and the irons that players use. What JT has done here, as I said previously, the 620 MBs only go up to a 9 iron, and then he has the SM7 in the pitching wedge. But the SM7 is the exact same shaft as his irons, and that is the True Temper Dynamic Gold Tour Issue X100 shaft. But that's just in for the 46. After that, it changes to the True Temper Dynamic Gold Tour Issue S400 shaft, and that's in for the 52 all the way up to the 60. The S400 we've seen used in a lot of professionals' bags, most notably Rory McIlroy, and they are unbelievable wedge shafts. But you can see that players do use different swings for their wedges in comparison to their irons, and that's why, although the SM7 that JT uses is a 46 degree wedge, it still is a pitching wedge, which is why it is the same shaft as the 620 MBs. Why has he changed this about? He probably just prefers the feel for the pitching wedge to be an SM7, which we're not too surprised by because they are unbelievable feeling shafts and unbelievable feeling clubs. Finally, let's go on to his putter, the last club that I'm going to talk about. Now this club, everyone kind of knows which club JT uses here. It's such an amazing putter, and unfortunately, we can't really get our hands on it. Scotty Cameron did release a limited edition version of this, but it costed an arm and a leg, so I don't think we're going to see that anytime soon in amateurs' bags. But this club is the Scotty Cameron X 5.5 Tour Prototype putter. This one looks a lot similar to the Odyssey number 7 and some new TaylorMade putters that have just been released, and it is a stunning club. I wish here at GolfMagic we could get our hands on it, but I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon. The grip he uses is a Super Stroke Pistol GT Tour grip, and JT, although not really known for being the best putter, he comes up clutch when he needs to. His putting wasn't the thing that was on show at the Players Championship, it was his ball striking, but he did hold a very impressive eagle putt on the 11th hole to make himself go in the lead and really just put himself in contention for this tournament. And finally, the last thing I'm going to talk about is the golf ball. With JT being sponsored by Titleist, it's no surprise that he uses the brand new 2021 Titleist Pro D1X golf ball. I imagine that JT, because of why he's using this golf ball, is because he's probably a low spinning player, meaning that he wants to get a little bit more spin on some iron shots to get some spin. He is one of the best ball strikers in the game, and this ball, one of the best balls in the game, really backs it up. That's it for Justin Thomas's What's in the Bag. As you can see, he is a Titleist player throughout, but he doesn't have that many new clubs in the bag, especially for his woods. His putter is something that here at GolfMagic we're especially fond of, but we're even more fond of JT's ball striking and his overall game. He showed at the Players Championship that he easily is one of the best players in the world. I know his form at 2021 hasn't been strong, we think this win's going to make him go straight into contention for any of the majors, and perhaps in a few weeks' time we could see JT wearing that green jacket. I hope you guys enjoyed this video today of Justin Thomas's What's in the Bag. If you did, make sure you leave a like down below. And if you guys are new around here, make sure you hit the subscribe button too to keep up to date with all of our What's in the Bag videos, golf challenges, golf reviews, and much more to keep you guys entertained for all of 2021. I'll see you guys at the next video.